God, so dumb. Hello, today I'm doing the 7 Deadly Sins book tag, as tagged by Stephanie at Time to Read. Or in my head, how I like to say it. Time to read! I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, I'm really excited. It's the first time I've ever been tagged in anything. So I'm like super stoked about it. And I'm going to start now before I embarrass myself further. Question number 1. What is your most inexpensive book? And what is your most expensive book? So my most inexpensive book would be The Awakening by Kate Chopin. A Dover Thrift Edition. And it says $3.50 on here, but I think I got a discount on it, so it was like $2 maybe like $1.50, something like that. It's definitely my most inexpensive. The Dover Thrift Editions are really cool if you just want to read something, but you're not sure if you're actually going to like want to invest. I suggest those. For my most expensive book, there's 2. One of them, well, actually neither one I bought. I thought for some reason I bought one. I didn't. They're both gifts. We will go with the second most expensive, which is On Heroes and Tombs by Ernesto Sapato, which I received for Christmas from one of my best friends as a gift. And they don't really print the English translation of this anymore, I guess. So this is from, I think, let's see, I'm not sure when exactly this one was from, but I think it's from like the late 80s is when this was printed last in English. So it's in pretty good condition, actually. And I think somewhere in like the $40 to $50, maybe $60 range, thereabouts. But I'm really excited. About halfway through it. It's split into 2 or 4 sections. And this one's going to have a really crazy review when I get done, because it's brilliant. It's a brilliant novel so far. And I think it just gets weirder from where I'm at. Anyway, I don't want to ruin it. I had to take a break because it is way too dense and crazy for me to try to comprehend well. I have all the books I have to read for school. So I stopped at the beginning of the 3rd section, which seemed like a natural stopping point. And I'll finish it immediately as soon as I no longer have anything to read for school. Whether that's after my finals or, like the week before if I get done with everything. But I really am liking this. And then my most expensive book, which I don't even know how much it costs. I never asked, he never told me, but I know it wasn't cheap. Was also a gift, a Christmas gift, I think maybe 2 years ago. And you will have seen it if you've seen my bookshelf tours, but it is a first edition of Ernest Hemingway's A Farewell to Arms. You can see, I think it just looks so awesome. And you can see there's, it's not pristine. There's some damage here. I mean, there's damage on the back. And I don't have the dust jacket. But yeah, you can see just how, I mean, it's awesome. I think this is probably my favorite Hemingway. Maybe not. It's up there. It's right now it's my favorite. But yeah, you can see it's really cool. Anyway, I wouldn't read this copy. I keep it in a little case normally. This is one of the few times it's been outside of its little case. So I'm going to film this and immediately put it back inside its little protective home. So question number 2 is Wrath. What author do you have a love-hate relationship with? That author, at least right now, is Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Because he wrote this, Love in the Time of Cholera, which I absolutely loved. And I had a couple reservations as far as plot points, but I really, really love this book. It's great. I loved it. I got a lot out of it. But he also wrote 100 Years of Solitude, which I distinctly remember not enjoying as much when I read it. And it kind of grew on me after I'd read it, and I kept thinking about it. But initially, was like, God, this book's so long and pointless. But it's kind of grown on me since then. But this one I loved immediately. So it's kind of like his 2 arguably most famous works kind of were like opposite experiences for me. Whereas like this one I loved, but then afterwards I had a couple issues with particularly one thing, which it doesn't even ruin the novel for me. I still think it's great and I loved it. And then this one where initially I was like, it's a piece of crap. But then the more I thought about it, I kind of got more and I ended up respecting it. I can't say that I would ever read it again. But yeah, that answers that question. Okay, question number 3. Gluttony. What book have you deliciously devoured over and over with no shame whatsoever? So that would be 2 books. One is the Silver Linings Playbook, and which I read about once a year at least. And then the other one is The Sun Also Rises, which I've read like 4 times now, I think. And to be fair, I hardly ever reread books. I just keep moving on. So the first book I ever reread was The Silver Linings Playbook, and then this I reread for fun, and then I've had to read it twice for classes, and then the first time I read it. So I've actually gotten a lot out of this book. Like, I'm very familiar, and I'm about to have another discussion in one of my classes about it. So this book and I are definitely friends, as well as this book. So that would be that. Sloth. What book have you neglected reading due to laziness? I guess you could count on Heroes and Tombs as finishing it. Also, the Pickwick Papers, if you watch those. I'm still... I haven't read any of it yet. Any more of it than the first 2 episodes. I'm really going to try. I've just had a lot of stuff come up recently, so it was kind of hard to keep up with that. And Ulysses, James Joyce, I have it. I've had it for, I think, a year, sitting on my shelves. And every time I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it. So I would say that. Pride. What book do you most talk about in order to sound like a very intellectual reader? It used to be a lot. Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. Which, I am not a fan of that book. But it makes you sound really smart. You're like, oh yeah, of course I've read Atlas Shrugged. Yeah, oh, great. But yeah, you say that. Now it's going to be The Sound and the Fury, I think. Or Hemingway, I don't know. A lot of the stuff I read could come off that way, I guess. Because it's all old. But Atlas Shrugged is the one where it's like, if I did intentionally, it'd be that one. Number 6 is lust. What attributes do you find most attractive in male or female characters? I don't know, I've never thought about that. Someone sassy, who's smart and funny. I don't know. I mean, I don't think about that. I've never been like, wow, she is the perfect woman. Not in a book, at least. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm a weirdo like that. Yeah, I really don't know. 7, envy. What books would you most like to receive as a gift? I think it's interesting when people give me their favorite book. I really enjoy that because it tells you a lot about a person. So it's kind of nice to get that. Or anything by James Baldwin. That I don't own. And anything, all of it, any nonfiction stuff would be great. Or anything Hemingway related or Roosevelt related. Like biographies and stuff like that. It's always interesting. And that's it. So I really appreciate being tagged. There's no one I can tag because they've all done it or have been tagged already. So I tag whoever is watching this and feels like doing it. Tag you. Get on it. Alright, so as always, see ya. Sorry. It's been a long day. Had class all day today, so this is post-class pre-writing paper. Just jumbled brain waves. Okay. Bye.